Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how I get my clients to go from this to this. Now, getting a tour-like impact is deceptively simple, but the final kind of impact position we're always after is often developed and created much earlier in the swing than just at impact. So if you've got a bad impact position and you're just trying to change impact, you might only be looking at 5% of the total picture. What I'm going to do today is show you how I go about getting people to deliver, that shaft lean, that pressure on the handle, so that you can get way more yardage per mile an hour of input, and you don't have to try as hard when you're out on the golf course next. So the characteristic you see with so many really good ball strikers is the fact that as they're coming down, you can see that their trail hand is almost on top of the golf club. Now, this is exactly what I feel. When I'm really striking it well, I go from kind of halfway down where I feel as if I'm almost applying a pressure on the top of the handle, and then I'm really rotating through and just trying to maintain that pressure for as long as I can. And this is not a pull, but it's just almost like a squeeze on the top of the golf club. One of the characteristics from someone who is not such a good ball striker is that trail hand is often either out towards the camera, where I've got you there, because they're trying to tuck the elbow under, that's opening the face up and doing all those kind of horrible things, or it's matched up with their lead hand being too extended, so knuckles up at the bottom of the swing. Why is this particularly bad? Well, if you try and just pull the handle across, which I wouldn't want you to do, you are often going to see an awful lot of either extremely open club faces, or you'll end up releasing it more and more. So say, for example, if I'm coming down like this, right hand on the side of the golf club, left hand on the top, and then I have to throw, I'll start to lose all my energy, want to stall out my body, and often see the pull shot being very, very frequent on the golf course. So if you're able to get your trail hand more on top at your P6 position, you should feel like the toe of the golf club is just overhanging the heel. And then as you move through, we're not trying to jam the handle across as hard as we can, but instead, as we set this spot, all we're really doing is shifting across. That moves the low point forward, and then rotating around into our lead side, also making sure the handle has an arc to it. Everything is always on an arc, so I can't move the handle straight across. It's got to move across and in. What's the secret sauce of that? I'm not just trying to pull the handle across and suck it inwards. As you can see, that would often deliver the dreaded heel strike, okay, every time. But instead, if I can get that right hand on top, I've set the club face angle, and then I move across onto my left side, shift my weight across, and then rotate into my lead side, I should be able to control the position of the grip via my body movements. But I'm not really trying to do anything with my hands down at the bottom. So we missed a few numbers, but that strike felt night and day different compared to the one before that. So what's really happening? Well, it's often to do with the grip and wrist angle matchup. I just wanted to take a quick second in this video to tell you about my new channel sponsor, Swing Coach. Swing Coach is the app that will start to bring together your feels and reels and accelerate your rate of learning. I've been working on this with clients and in my own game, and changes that would usually take months are suddenly only taking days. The main highlight of the app is that it gives you audible feedback as to where you are in your swing. So you select a parameter, it can be swing plane, takeaway, hand path, hip depth, to name a few, and it will rate you from a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you're very close to average, and 10 being you're too far away from average. Once you've made a few swings, you will see my icon appear in the top corner of your screen, and it will suggest a drill that I filmed in the studio here to help you with that particular problem. So all you need to do is click on the link in the description below, or scan the barcode in this bottom corner here, and it will give you a 2-week free trial to the app. There is no reason not to try it. I think you'll absolutely love it. And as always, let me know how you get on. Grip, you can grip it however you like, okay? Look at the top 50 players in the world. and they will all grip it differently. Coaches like to pick their favorite players because of how they hold it or how they swing it, which is totally fine. But the real truth is you can hold it in lots of different ways. You can be really strong, you can be really weak. You know, Colin Morikawa bowing that lead wrist down as much as he can. You then get people like Dustin Johnson, okay? Bit of an anomaly, but super strong with the grip and bowed with the wrist, but extends his lead wrist up through impact, keeping the face square and hits fades. You get Matt Fitzpatrick, very strong gripper, very cupped at the top, quite a lot of pull. So, you know, there's lots of ways to do it. But for us, mere mortals, not looking at pros, what's the easiest? For me, I found that if you grip it neutral and flatten your lead wrist, it will restrict the amount of radial deviation, we call it, okay, so the amount of kind of hinging, which inevitably will open a blade up, and it would reduce the amount of throw required on the way down to square it up. So for me, if you can set your angles going up and you don't have to do anything with them, give or take, on the way down, playing golf, it's so much easier. When we play badly, certainly when I play badly, it's often when I've got downswing thoughts. Okay, I've got something from the top to the bottom to try and sort out. And imagine if that part of your swing is only over in 0.2 of a second, okay, if that. How, you know, we're not F1 drivers. I can't think that quickly over and over and over again. So inevitably the output gets, you know, it fluctuates way too much because it depends on the success I have of changing the thing on the way down. Yeah? Whereas, let's say, for example, we went through a little routine where you would go set up, neutral grip, you then go P2, yeah, shaft in line with the toe line, lead wrist flat, right wrist already getting into that position on top. Maintain as you turn to the top, maintain as you turn down, and clip. Okay, and you should start to find that getting the angle of attack up and feeling as if you start to compress the ball with that lower flight comes naturally. But it's all about, for me, that position of the right hand. If I can get that feeling on top and I can feel that weight load up, then I'm really just thinking about shifting across and opening up. But if we're here, right hand almost on the side of the club, I've got to then try and use forearm rotation and stall my body out to try and square the club face up. So this has always felt the worst for me. But it's so common that it just becomes so natural for people and it's hard to change. But I think if you change it earlier via working on your grip, working on where you get to at the top, and then just trying to maintain it for as long as you can, I think there is some success there to be had. So we're going to go P2, okay, club over the heel, toe over the heel, right hand on top, lead wrist flat, turn it up, turn it down, rotate, through. I mean, that just felt incredible. It's probably a slight block. But, you know, a shallow amount of turf interaction, but nearly 7 degrees down. So, to summarize, I think if you can get the grip into a place where it feels good for you, there is no right or wrong, but then using that right hand to feel more on top and apply the pressure as if you're kind of pushing on something, but it's almost like your hand's pushing like this. Okay, so the weight of the golf club is putting your wrist into extension, not a pushing like this, where you try and throw the head of the golf club. It's this pressure on the handle of the golf club. And then it's our job to try and maintain that as we shift and move across. I think if you can do that, you'll be well on your way to striking it a ton better. Okay, guys, that's all from me. I hope all of that made sense. If you get any questions, just drop them in the comments box down below. If you did enjoy the video, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. There is more coming, hopefully weekly videos to help you get to a much more consistent place with your golf. See you in the next one.